What up, is Marcus Dynasty Fun Dads. If you're new to the channel, we have a DeAndre Swift signed jersey. All you have to do is be a subscriber for a chance to win. We're going to be doing another video on zero running back strategy. This time, we're going to be doing it with Superflex. And I feel like Superflex is easier or harder, I guess you could say, because quarterbacks are the primary focus when it comes to Superflex, not necessarily running backs when it comes to 1 QB. So, I'm in the 10th position again. These are some of the picks that I had made. So right off the bat, we decided to go quarterback and tight end. I mean, we're gonna go with Dak Prescott. I was trying to get Dak Prescott right away, and then Pitts on the way back. It didn't work out that way. So I could have went Prescott and Wilson, but I didn't. I went Dak Prescott and Mark Andrews because I knew I was going. One of the things is I knew I wasn't going to go running back. So what if I was not going to go running back? I knew that there's going to be probably a quarterback that I liked in round 3 and round 4. In this case, I liked a couple different quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, all, again, young, prime. You could say into their prime. You'd say Hurts is into their prime, or close to his prime, I guess you could say. Prescott, prime. Mark Andrews, prime. So I'm in the right time, the right target frame for a lot of these players. And then we get into some of the wide receivers. So I just started going after wide receivers. Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, Mike Williams, Christian Watson, all wide receivers that I like. And so we were left with a lot of bad running backs, of course, remaining. And so I'm going to pose a question to you guys of would you rather have A or B? And then you comment, would you rather have the A side or the B side? And just this is what we do with different mock drafts. This is what we try to figure out what strategy works best. I think doing an all or nothing strategy is usually a fail. I mean, when you say I'm going in 0 RB, and then a couple other people decide I'm going to do the same thing, then you end up fighting over the same things, and you end up having issues, and you're not really zigging to the zagging, and you end up getting these teams that have really, really good wide receiver and running backs in the beginning, and then they end up finding these pieces in the back half too, because a bunch of teams are going after running backs, and they're like, well, fine, then I'm just going to load up on wide receivers because teams are going all running backs and that's what you almost have to do if you draft a bunch of players. Like, in fact, in this one, I actually just took like 5-6 running backs because I just kept feeling that my running backfield was just not sufficient enough, and so the running backs that I liked here between rounds 9 and 14, and we're going to go through them. It's Dameon Pierce, and I followed that up with Marlon Mack in the 14th round because I feel like I wanted that Houston backfield if possible. I didn't get Rex Burkhead or anything in this, but Dameon Pierce and Marlon Mack, and then Isaiah Spiller, Tyler Algier, again, super high upside, high low side. I mean, you're talking huge floor, huge ceiling for both of those types of players. Even with Dameon Pierce, it's like rookie running backs. These are running backs that could end up being garbage, but if they end up being the Elijah Mitchells of the world or the James Robinson of the world, then we know that those are going to be really high, like much higher draft picks than where they were now. Elijah Mitchell went in the 6th round. So these guys are going 10th, 11th, 12th round. So Melvin Gordon, I did take in the 12th round, and Kenneth Gainwell as well. Again, even after drafting all those running backs, I don't feel confident about my running backs at all. So to pose the question, first of all, revolves around the basis of what would you rather do? Draft running backs early and then the wide receivers late? Because there's some receivers into that rounds 9 through 13, and I think I like a lot better than I do the running backs. And in a lot of even rookie drafts, we have Dotson and you got Spiller. Which player would I rather have? I would rather have Jahan Dotson. I think he's going to have a better chance of success at the next the NFL level. And so we even look at other players like Gesicki falls down, Claypool falls down, Pickens falls down. I mean, there was a couple quarterbacks that fell even later. Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Tua Tagovailoa, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins. These are all quarterbacks that fell into the 6th, 7th, 8th rounds. And so, like, I like those types of quarterbacks usually. And so, so let's just go through A. A would be what I just did. So we had Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, Mike Williams, Dameon Pierce. Yeah, Dameon Pierce. I don't know why. I don't know why I almost paused there. But Isaiah Spiller and Melvin Gordon. So that is the roster that I ended up mocking with. Part B. This is what I would have done if I drafted all running backs early. David Montgomery, Zeke, and CH. I like that. I kind of like that. I mean, yeah, CH is a little bit of upside, but I have a soft spot in my heart for him. And Zeke and David Montgomery. It makes me feel kind of fuzzy inside. Then the receivers, Jahan Dotson, so I still get a receiver that I really like. Adam Thielen, which I think It has a year. And then I was trying to figure out the other wide receiver if it was going to be a Rondale Moore or Alan Lazard. I'm trying to think who else is on the board. Kadarius Toney, no. Alec Pierce, Michael Gallup. I mean, you're really kind of falling off the map here, but those are types of players that are available. Honestly, I think this is what happens when you really narrow focus into, and that's B, by the way. So comment if you'd rather have A or B. Honestly, this is why I kind of mix and match it. I just take best player available, and I try to match the pieces after a while. Like after round 6, 7, 8, I would probably 7 or 8, then I'm like, okay, where are the pieces that I'm missing and how do I get there? In drafts, you always have trades in there too. So that's something that you don't have in mocks. There are times, and I don't know how many times I traded in my startup, even with the Dynasty Dads. I traded quite a bit. But there's even a lot of other Dynasty startups that I've done too. Some are very, very active, and you're seeing people trade future picks to get in, or they're trading. I mean, I'm always one of those that, okay, there's a tier 4 guys, and this is going to be a little bit more strategy into it versus the 0 RB, so you guys get a little bit of mindset of what somebody that has experienced through a lot of different startups. There's 4 wide receivers. How far back can I move to get one of those 4 wide receivers, and what can I move back up into maybe the next round or the next couple rounds? And so a lot of times I'm moving back, and then I'm moving up, and I see, oh crap, there's only one guy left, and there's 3 picks to get to me. I don't want to wait. I know I look at the other rosters, and they could take a wide receiver, and I want that. Or George Kittle. George Kittle's kind of the biggest mystery. He's between rounds 4 and 6. I don't understand the 5-6 round part, but he's an easily a top 36 player to me, especially in Dynasty. And so I'm okay reaching up and getting George Kittle and sacrificing maybe a little bit of draft capital into that 5th, 6th round to do it, and know that the difference between me going, let's just say I was at 5-10 and I go down to 6-05 or something like that. So I went from Terry McLaurin to Garrett Wilson, or Terry McLaurin to Keenan Allen or Devontae Smith. I mean, Terry McLaurin and Devontae Smith in my minds are like back to back, so it doesn't really matter to me much. I'm not going to lose that much value, even in a full round. If I'm moving up a couple picks, if I move back an entire round later in the draft, like that's okay to me. And I'll do the exact opposite too. I will move back a couple picks for a player to be like, yeah, I need to get that tight end, and I already have one. Let's say I have Mark Andrews in round 2 in this case, and so I'm if somebody want to pick at 403 and I had Hurts and Prescott and Lawrence is sitting there, I'm like, yeah, come on up, pick your player that you want, and I'll move back, because at that point, if I had Prescott, Andrews, I mean, I'm even okay moving back after that. If I know that Hurts is there, but I would have been okay with Hurts, Stafford, Lawrence, like any of those players. So come on up, pick up there, and I'll move back, and I'll acquire better picks into this 4, 5, 6 range, and potentially, or I'll move a 7th into a 6th, or I'll move a 6th into a 5th, and kind of shift up and get some better players. Like a Mike Williams could have been a Devontae Smith, which I would have rather had clearly, or a Christian Watson could have been a Rashad Bateman. Christian Watson could have been I guess Sky Moore was a couple picks earlier. Rashad could have been Elijah Moore, something along those lines. And I think I would have rather had Elijah Moore over Christian Watson. So, again, 0 RB strategy I think is a fool's gold strategy. I definitely don't advise it. I always go best BPA, best player available is the number one biggest thing that you can do in Dynasty. You can do it in rookie drafts too. I draft for best player available, and I trade for my needs. It's always the biggest thing. If you can't trade for your needs in a Dynasty league, then you need to figure out a different Dynasty league. There are always ways. There are always ways. I mean, you can overpay with picks and players and stuff to get that player, but honestly, there is times and targets to figure out what the world to do with your weaknesses. There's a league I have, and I know that you guys might go, well, 16-team, 1 QB league. 1 QB, I don't have a good quarterback. I have Baker Mayfield. No one wants me to trade me a quarterback. They don't want to trade me a quarterback. They want me to live and die with Baker Mayfield. And I don't blame them, because I got a good team besides my quarterback position. I have Baker and Carson Wentz, and it's honestly not great. No, I traded Carson Wentz away. I don't have Carson Wentz anymore. Oh, I don't have Carson. Somebody really valued the 2023 class, so I put some picks together. This is a really sidebar. I put some picks together, and Carson Wentz and I don't remember, another Noah Fant or whatever it was for George Kittle. And so they really, really wanted that 2023 class. And I was like, go for it. Take it. Take all my 2023 picks. But I get George Kittle. And I still need a quarterback. So I'm trying to figure out what to do there. But again, best player available. I thought that was an easy win in my opinion for getting George Kittle. I say I love George Kittle about every single day of this week. But again, one of those things that you have to figure out: draft best player available, trade for need. And I will trade for a quarterback, or I will live and die with Baker Mayfield as my Carolina Panthers quarterback. I really hope I don't have to, but there's going to be teams that are going to start looking into. Not the 2023 class, I don't have any. So it's going to be a 2024 class, or I'm going to have to do something else. I'm going to have to trade players in to get 2023 picks, which is another thing. And then halfway through the season, I'm going to be like, hey, I remember that I got a second or two. What can I do to take a second or two plus Baker and make something happen, or a second or two and add it to a running back or a wide receiver? I have Elijah Moore, and I have another mid pick to draft another wide receiver. It's like you draft best player available, trade for need. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I see it's so funny because I see the same dynasty teams in different leagues, and I feel like it's the same owners. It's the same owners that reach. They don't take best player available. They take, well, what do I need? I always need a running back. I need a running back. I'm going to take Keyshawn Vaughn. I'm going to take a running back. I'm going to take Devin Singletary. It's Devin Singletary. It's Keyshawn Vaughn. And then it's Ronald Jones. It's just like they never have a horrible team. They never have the worst team. They always have like 4th, 5th, 6th pick. Instead of going CeeDee Lamb, they go Cam Akers. Instead of going Justin Jefferson, they go Zach Moss. It's like these teams always are trying to draft for their team need instead of, there was a team, and I told a friend this I told this to a team. He desperately needed running back. He did not need a wide receiver. He's a Vikings fan. And I was like, man, I think Cam Akers is your pick. I really do. I don't like Cam Akers, but I think Cam Akers is your pick. And he goes, I'm not taking Cam Akers. I don't like him. I like Justin Jefferson. And I was like, I understand that as a Vikings fan, but that seems really scary. And he drafted Justin Jefferson. And thank goodness he did not listen to my advice. There are sometimes you just got to go with your gut. You got to do what you think is best. And so he did, and he has never looked back since. In fact, he actually had an earlier pick that I thought he should have drafted DeAndre Swift. Again, freestyle jersey when we hit 2K. We're getting slowly there. So there was he had an earlier pick. He had picked 4, and so he could have picked DeAndre Swift in the same 1 QB league 16 team. And so he could have, but then he moved back, and then Cam Akers fell back, and he could have drafted Cam Akers, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Reagor, or Justin Jefferson. And he picked the gold of the 4. And so, again, that was his best player available. In fact, I was 50-50 on it, honestly. I thought Cam Akers had enough talent at the running back position. I had Justin Jefferson right up there with Judy. I had him definitely behind CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb was the clear-cut one in that draft class. I don't know where I got off on this. Best player available. Do that. I see these teams that just struggle over and over and over again. In fact, there was a team that had Travis Kelce in Dynasty, and they had the 103 in a tight end Superflex, and they chose Kyle Pitts. I was a little shocked that they chose Kyle Pitts. I'll be honest, and I was like, really? Kyle Pitts? He goes, it doesn't matter. Kelce can be amazing. I'll trade Kelce away. But Kyle Pitts is the next 12 years of this league, and I'm taking Kyle Pitts. And I was like, you know what? I don't blame me on that. I was looking at it. I was the pick right after him. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it was definitely a thought in my head. I was a team desperate for tight end. And so I had everything in place. So I took best player available in that case. Actually, no, I think Kyle Pitts was 4 because I think I had Javonte or Najee at 5. It was Javonte at 5. No, I've traded back. I got Javonte. I traded back. I was like, I'm just taking Javonte Williams because I needed that fill in. And that's another thing you can do. You can trade back and forward. And if you can't trade back and forward, like if I couldn't trade back and get Javonte, I would have kept that position, and I would have taken, I think tight end, so it was tight end Superflex, I would have taken Justin Fields or Zach Wilson. But I didn't. I traded back. I got my Javonte. I was all happy. All right, this is Marcus Dynasty Fun Dads. It's getting late out. I have a bachelor party on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. And we'll be back on Sunday, and I'll probably be sleeping. This is going to be a long one. Brother-in-law is getting married here in December, and we're going to party. And we're doing Beer Olympics on Thursday. And Friday, we're doing Party Bus. And Saturday, we are probably just going to try to survive. And then Sunday, go home. And then probably just want to make... I'm 31. I'm probably going to have like a 5-day hangover. All right. If you made it this long, hashtag in your comment... what should we hashtag? Hashtag, not school. Hashtag, what should we hashtag? I'm trying to think, what should we hashtag? Hashtag football is almost here. There we go. Football is almost here. All right. I will see you guys probably Monday. Hopefully I'm alive back by then. All right. Peace out. Take care.